Hello, hello, beautiful audience. Are you ready for some magic? Because we're having our first episode, and this is all about you discovering your magic, your inner personal power through metaphysical tools. And today I have my collaborator, who is my co-magician, Nicki Slattery. She's going to talk today about the purpose of astrology. And Nicki, why do we want to know astrology to step into our magic?
Well, astrology really introduces us to the holographic nature of the galaxy that we're living in. So we are on Earth, we are part of the Milky Way galaxy, and we have these 9 bodies, celestial bodies, planets, and the sun that are circulating around the Earth. And they all have a magnetism about them, and they are influencing our personality, our challenges, and our life circumstances. So, when we think about astrology, what's so important to know is that we are at one with the holographic nature of the universe. Of course, we have free will, but there is a magnetic force of each one of these planets that is impacting us. And the more we can understand about this kind of co-collaboration with the universe, the better collaborator and contributor we can be in everyday life. So, as an astrologist, I am looking at when you came to this earth, what was the moment you were born, what was the celestial sky looking like? Because that had a huge impact energetically on who you are, what your destiny is, and what you're meant to contribute into this world. So, as an astrologist, I'm always looking at your natal chart. And that is where the magic is. And that is what I wanted to share with you today.
Awesome. I love it. Did you say the navel?
It is the
Natal.
natal chart.
Natal. Okay.
Yes. So that natal chart is the exact time you were born. We
Okay.
look at what sign, zodiac sign was on that horizon. So when you're born, there's a zodiac sign on the horizon. And that sign that is on the horizon really is the theme of your entire life and how you are meant to interact in the celestial field and what you're meant to contribute as well. So
Mhm.
that Eastern horizon sign, we call it the rising sign, is imperative to know because it really helps you understand the theme of your life and how to show up. Now, when we think of the practicality of this too, we want to understand our sun sign, which is usually what we do know in astrology is that sun sign, which is one of 12 zodiac signs. And that sun sign is what you're growing into, what you will be manifesting, what you will be challenged by, but also what you're meant to teach other people. So,
Mm.
from a practical aspect, we really need to look into our sun sign and ask ourselves, how am I growing into this? How is my life wanting me to exude this energy? Why have I gone through the trials and tribulations? And how is that helping me become my sun sign?
Love it.
So that is, from an astrological standpoint, the beauty of the co-creation here is we are part of this amazing galaxy, part of this magnetic field. And as we understand what part of the magnetic field we are and the influence all these planets have on us, we start to be able to really go with the flow of life and really open ourselves up to the unique opportunities only we have and the unique personality that only we can embody. So that is a little bit of astrology and how I love to work with it. I did want to mention one other thing that I have found so powerful as an astrologist with my clients is our moon sign. So
Mhm.
the moon was in a certain zodiac sign when you were born. And that moon sign helps you tap into your emotional environment. So it's your emotional environment and your relationship with the flow of life. So the flow of life is how we give and receive. So our moon sign really helps us tap into how we magnetize money, how we create abundance, and how we emotionally feel safe in this world. So when I think about astrology, it is this celestial dance of co-collaboration we are having with the universe. But until we understand more about that unique natal chart blueprint, we don't know how we can specifically show up and co-create as effectively as we can if we, didn't have that information. It's like we're walking in the dark. When we have the information, we're walking into the light of who we are.
I love it. It just sounds so magical. And as you were talking about holographic nature and the magnetism, what came to me, so when I studied about the body and how body is designed, so in the movement world, we like to use this tensegrity model. So, which is, yeah, like everything moves and everything interconnects with each other, which is just again an indication that we are one and we
Mhm.
are magical. And the body is one of the expressions of that magic. Because I know for my audience, ambitious, high achievers living in their mind, we think that we're making sense of the world in our mind, while body is actually sensing the world.
Mm, yes.
Right? And what we really do in the mind is just interpreting the world.
Yes.
But how we're experiencing the world is through our body and is through all of our senses. And it's not just one, but what we know, we have five, right?
Mhm.
That's why I know when I was hearing about astrology, but living in my mind, it was very hard for me to comprehend that there is something else that can be beneficial while I'm here working so hard. And the only program I know is work harder.
Yeah.
And as
Yeah.
we know, the body, just because of its multidimensional nature, it just can only work so hard um, for so long. So
Mhm.
that's why, like what you said, through astrology, we can learn so many different things and how to really create the flow. And that's why I like the flow, because yeah, it's that dance of giving and receiving. Because it's
Yeah.
not balance, because I don't believe in balance. It's, it's a law of rhythm. Everything is in motion and the planets are moving. And you're gonna probably talk about when sun is in this and moon is in that, everything changes, right? That's the flow. That's that tensegrity or holographic nature. But at the same time, it just opens us up. Like, I am not just like this limited little thing who has to live in my mind and solve all the issues through thinking and logical exploration. That
Mhm.
there is way more to it. Right.
Absolutely.
And I
Absolutely.
remember this quote, I think it was by Einstein or Edison, one of them. He says, logic takes you from A to B, but imagination takes you everywhere.
Mm.
And don't we love to look at the stars?
Mhm.
Because, yeah, it's just like something magical out there.
Yes.
And I'm just gonna finish with this one because I was just doing my dancing workout today in the morning, and I do it in the basement and it's dark, but I got this potty light
Yeah.
and it projects all these different
Oh,
stars, like
cool.
different shapes, different colors, and there's so many of them. And I was done with the workout and I'm lying down there on the floor and I'm looking at the sky and I'm like, whoa.
Oh, cool. I love it.
Feeling, and just like, how many possibilities of the shapes out there?
Oh, yeah.
And what our mind knows is what it knows.
Yes.
That's why I think these metaphysical tools are so helpful because they really literally open up the doors to
Absolutely.
imagination and creativity. And that's a gift. Like that's where magic
Absolutely.
lies.
Absolutely.
Not in that constant logic, which is, yes, it's needed. But like we talked about in our previous episode, it's all about marrying magic and practicality.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I'm so excited about what's to come. And I don't know if you want to add anything else or just move
Yeah,
on.
I wanted to add a final thought about astrology because, we have these magnetic bodies, these celestial bodies that have an impact on us. But when you think of astrology, it's all in the rhythm and flow of the seasons. So each one of the zodiac signs embodies the season that it was born in. So, like you were saying with this giving and receiving and having perfect balance, there's no such thing as perfect balance, but there is cycles in life and there's cycles in nature. And I think astrology is a discovery of the cycle of your own life and you tapping into the rhythm of nature as well. Because we aren't on our own. We are part of natural cycles. We are part of the universe, which is being impacted by the magnetization of our planet and the other planets around it. So, the magic in astrology is knowing you're not alone, knowing there's energy to work with. Of course, you have to show up and you have to contribute and connect to the earthly environment as best as possible. But there are ways you can do it that are so much easier and in flow if you know your astrological blueprint and you have a deep understanding of how you uniquely can flow with life and be in its rhythm and dance with it in a way that it honestly wants to dance with you.
Mhm.
So there's a softening to we don't have to do it all on our own. And there's a stepping into what is the specific power that you have and what is the world needing from you given this blueprint.
Yes, which we're coming to understanding ourselves
Mm.
and reclaiming our inner power so that we do shine the light with better understanding instead of like figuring out and swimming around and so
Mhm.
we're here to help you discover you in the shortest possible way with all the help that we can receive from above, from below, and in between.
I love it. I love it. And to close this,
Mhm.
we did want to ask the audience a question.
Yes.
And as we speak through this, most people are most familiar with their sun sign. So knowing your sun sign, that is the sign you came to this earth to fully embody and grow into. So I want you to think about your own sun sign and how you feel you are growing into it and embodying it. And really, what does that look like from a being state? And then what does that look like from a doing state? And then Jules and I in the next episodes will talk about how it showed up for us. And I'll talk a little bit more general about my client experiences with that too.
Yes. But what is the sun sign? What is mine? Is it Taurus? Is that what?
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's just like a
Taurus.
typical birthday and so
Yeah, typical birthday.
okay.
And wherever your birthday landed, if you don't know it, there is astro.com. You can look it up. But that sun sign is based on your birthday. Like my birthday is April 14th. I am therefore an Aries. But you can easily put your birthday in on astro.com and find out your sun sign.
Okay, so yeah, like mine is April 24 and I'm Taurus.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think yes, most people know that part. All right. So yes, you have your homework. So check that out. Think about how you embody being and doing of your sign. And in the next 2 episodes, we're going to continue talking about astrology, but this time we're going to talk specifically about my astrology. So
My
Nicki is gonna be kind of like coaching me directly here live, so to speak. So
Mhm.
you have an idea how it all works. I'm gonna be her client. And then Nicki is gonna also talk about her astrology, and we're just gonna have a little communication here. All right. Well, thank you for joining and continue exploring yourself and connect with your magic because there is magic within you. We'll see you at the next episode.